What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay, and you're about to watch an exclusive interview with myself and a guy named Ray St. Clair, who's huge into numismatic coins. Now, if you're doing crypto and you want to continue to find ways to store your value, to store your wealth, then you're gonna look into things like precious metals, you're gonna look into things like numismatic coins. Now, you may not like the business model that we're talking about in and around this, which is called Mint Builder. Set that aside. I want you to just listen to what we're talking about with numismatic coins, because I think it's an amazing way to store value, to move out some of your wealth from crypto that you're generating into something that you can sit on, and that will provide you with financial security in the long run. At the end of the day, you need to be able to take what you like out of different things and leave the rest behind. I think numismatic coins will be a huge game changer for a lot of people. I actually didn't know what the hell they were before we got involved in this precious metal hustle that we're doing. And I think that a lot of you watching this, the business model stuff might not apply, but absolutely starting to collect these coins that grow massively in value, a little slower in comparison to crypto, over time will provide you with a ton of value. So go ahead and check it out now, dive in, and let me know what you think in the comments section below.
This video, I have a special guest, Ray St. Clair, who is my Mint Builder upline. He's a big part of the company, has been a huge inspiration and I guess source of knowledge and wisdom for all of us that are in the community getting into Mint Builder. And today I brought him on to a call to talk specifically about numismatic coins. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one on this, but numismatic coins, I had no idea what the hell they actually were. Me coming from the crypto space too, I wanted to get somebody who could really talk about what they are, why they're valuable, and really what to expect, what to do with them, and that sort of conversation. So Ray, welcome to the call, interview, whatever you want to call this.
Hi, Jay. Hi, community. How you going?
Good, good. So let's start at the beginning. The number one question that I had, what is a numismatic coin? Because we're talking about the auto ship, which is $127 a month. People want to know, like, what am I actually getting? So what is that?
There are two types of things. There's bullion and there's numismatics and what we call the collectible coins, the fine mint coins. And obviously, you know, I buy both. I buy sort of plenty of the bullion that you see here, and that's great. But I also buy a lot of the numismatics. Now, one of the things that Mint Builder is helping people strategize for wealth for most of their lives. I personally have a three-phase strategy. I have a short to medium term strategy, and I have a long-term wealth strategy. So for my short to medium term strategy, I use bullion. And the reason I use bullion is because in the short to medium term, you may need to liquidate fairly quickly. And bullion is actually far easier to liquidate than a numismatic coin. However, for my long-term strategy, I tend to use numismatics. And the reason for that, the primary reason for that is that numismatic coins are not really a short-term investment. I get a lot of people, and I suspect you get it too, Jay, you know, they buy a numismatic coin and they go, well, what if I want to sell it? When people ask me that question, I say, actually, you're buying the wrong thing. If you think that you want to buy it this week and sell it next week, it's the wrong product for you. It is actually a product that you hang on to. I've got coins here that I've had for nearly 10 years that have appreciated in value because I've sat on them. And that's a thing that the rich do. They tend to sit on assets for a long time until those assets become worth a lot of money, and then at the point that they're worth a lot of money, those people sell them. So the primary difference between bullion and numismatics is that bullion is the silver coins and the silver bars that you buy that are not in the cases, and numismatics are the coins such as the koalas that we've just received that you buy in the cases.
And you obviously leave them in the case. They're not really to be touched, and that's the longer term hold stuff.
Yes. I'm going to go into why they're encased in a moment. But please don't do what one of my friends did early on. He bought 10 of these and smashed them with a hammer to get them out of the case.
Oh no! Oh no!
Not good.
Yeah.
And I had a very long conversation with him as to why he shouldn't do that.
Oh, that's too much. That's funny. Okay, that makes sense with numismatics. So I guess the next logical question would be, what should somebody expect in terms of holding on to the numismatics? Is there a minimum amount of time to really expect it to pop or mature or kind of reach that higher price? Or can you walk me through that based on your experience?
Sure. it is a fact. I mean, you guys, you crypto crowd, you generally tend to be a younger crowd. You know, and despite my looks, I was a young man once. And when you when you're a young guy, you kind of don't really think that one day you're going to be 50, 55 or 60. And the way that I view this is my pension fund. These things are going to take care of me when I'm a little bit older than I am now. I'm in my early 50s. But I wish I'd started collecting these when I was in my 20s or my 30s, because had I done that, I'd be sitting on a collection that would be worth probably nearly $3 million. And that would be and you're never going to get that out of a standard insurance premium.
No, and that's a really great point to sit on it for that long, because a lot of people aren't thinking of the long-term play. And just to kind of, you know, chime and riff on that for a second, is crypto is like such a short-term game for a lot of people. And the prices are constantly fluctuating. So I could see how this would be a difficult piece to adopt.
Yeah, it is. For me, I kind of turned it into a fun thing. I actually enjoy collecting these. I always say that when those envelopes come through from Mint Builder, it's kind of like Christmas every day, because you almost don't know what to expect. And a lot of people are expressing great surprise at these new Marvel coins that are coming out this month, because they're just so cool. Kids love them. My business partner is also in the business, and his kids cannot wait. Every month they rip those envelopes open and they just love to see what's inside. And funny enough, his two daughters are, one of them's 9 and one of them is 11. And those two girls are talking to their school friends about these collectible coins. And now the parents are coming up to my business partner going, where do we get those collectible coins from?
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to get your kids into too. Wow, what a positive influence to have on them.
It's great. It's absolutely great.
That.
I love these, not just because of where they're going to go eventually. I love them because they're just so collectible, and they're lovely to look at and lovely to hold. And I'm going to show you a few coins that I've got as we go through the conversation, to sort of show you things to look for and things to collect. And there are very specialized collectors in this field. To give you an idea of long-term residual value on this, there's a very famous guy called Brent Pogue, who about 25 years ago started a collection of numismatic coins. He sold the collection. It cost him about $1.3 million to put the collection together. And he sold the collection in 2015 for $228 million.
Wow, 1.5 to put it together, sold it for $228 million.
Let that just sink in for a moment.
Wow.
And really, you're never going to get that kind of return from this. But if you buy the right ones of these, you're going to get that kind of return.
Wow. Okay. How do you buy the right ones?
Well, you're already, because you're with Mint Builder, you're already 80% of the way there, because of the way the founders of Mint Builder work. I don't know if your crowd know this, but the Mint Builder head office is right next door to the offices of NGC, which is the company that, I don't know if you guys can see, that it's an NGC graded coin. They have, over the last 7 or 8 years, built a massive relationship with NGC. So when they're looking to choose a coin, they're looking to choose coins to move to us that they know have got a really good residual opportunity and wealth building opportunity going forward. So they're looking for those coins that are going to increase in value. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of coins. I can put my hand on my heart and say honestly that all of my coins are now worth much, much more than I paid for them through the business.
That's good. That's good to know. Yeah. Like I said, pretty inspiring to know too, because I knew nothing about these coins coming into it. And I too immediately went and searched eBay for the coins. And I was just like, why are these things selling for like $30, $40 right now? Well, because those are the people that as soon as they asked, what are these going for? You should have probably said, this isn't the opportunity for you. It's a bunch of those people.
Exactly. And that's a perfect point. If anyone has ever bought a life assurance policy, you'll know that, and you buy a life assurance policy for, say, 20 years or till you die. Yeah. If you try and cash out of that life assurance policy, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, they often say when you buy it, you may lose money. You may not get back what you've put into this insurance policy, because what they want to do is they want you to hang on. They want to keep taking your money off you, Insurance policies mature really in the last sort of 3 or 4 years of their life. That's when those policies mature. And these things are very, very, very similar. You'll find that if you buy one of these today and you take it to a numismatic dealer, they will give you the $30-$40 for it that you're seeing on eBay. And you're right, because those are the people that have bought it, not understood what it is, and are trying to bail out of it. That's not correct. Hang on to this for 8, 10, 15 years, and you'll be blown away by what this goes for at that point. A lot of retail customers buy these things off me, and they're just buying 1 or 2 a month, and they're putting them away, and they're talking about things like college educations, the first car, the first house, the daughter's wedding. They're seeing it as that money stack for those big life events that are coming up, 10, 15 years down the road with those kids who are now 2 and 3 and 4 years old.
That's really a great thing to look at. Again, for me to really stress and harp is that everyone right now is excited about crypto, right? But
me too.
You can't deny that tomorrow it could go away. Tomorrow the government could step in and take the whole thing over. Is that likely? No. But what is likely is that regulation will continue, that the way we know it right now today will be very, very different in even another 12 months, even another 6 months. It'll be very different than how we know it now, meaning what coins are worth, what coins are popular, what is happening with the back-end technology of the coins. So what you're sitting on in an index or portfolio right now in crypto is very volatile in comparison to like a longer term play, which is like, and I've always been a proponent of precious metals because I recognize that if something happens with fiat and that goes away, like that's like our go-to. And historically, that's always been our go-to as human beings. So I had that piece, but I was missing the numismatic piece, which I'm gonna seriously start collecting because that is, yeah, I see it. I get it. Like that's the 10, 15, 20 year down the road play. That's the, I don't know what's going to happen around that age when I start to have some body parts and some squeaks and some things not working the same way. And I need something to fall back on. That's that money. That's what you're building right now. And you might as well build it and offload some of the profits that you're getting in crypto that's very volatile, very risky, and offload that into something that's much safer like this,
I absolutely agree. And one of the things about Mint Builder is that we have this 3-phase strategy that allows you to buy bullion for the short to medium term liquidation that you might need, but also allows you to acquire graded mint coins, numismatic coins. So for me and many others, Mint Builder is such a cohesive strategy, a coverall strategy for converting either crypto or fiat into a tangible that you can rely upon when either fiat goes away, which, let's face it, we're in a generation now where we know that at some point in the future, the fiat has got to fail. It's unsustainable as a currency method. The only thing that they can go back to restore confidence in any kind of fiat is to link that fiat to the base metal. And so if we build decent stacks of base metal for all of us, then I don't care. And I'm sure that people who've built base metal stacks don't really care about the volatility in the marketplace. And in fact, every time, they complain that there's not enough money in the marketplace and they do quantitative easing and all that, I laugh and I rub my hands together. I go, great, the government have just increased the value of my metals. Delighted. So actually the volatility in the financial markets, particularly in fiat, it works for us if you're sitting on base metals. And this is why the rich, they buy gold and silver. There's a simple reason, don't get mad, get even. Do what the rich do, and you'll be protected as they are. And that's why bullion for short to medium term and numismatics for the long term. And these are just absolutely fascinating to me. The beauty of them, the quality of them, the grading process. On my journey, I've learned so much about the grading process over the years that I didn't understand when I first got into buying these things. And I'm happy to explain some of those things to you.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about, were you into numismatics? I'm going to assume you were before Mint Builder, yeah?
Yeah, well, as many people know, Mint Builder was kind of evolved out of the old company, which was ISN, and ISN's been going seven and a half years. So I was in right from the beginning. And that was the first point, sort of nearly 9 years ago now, when I started buying numismatic coins because, it was an auto ship. Didn't understand, bought it for, month in, month out for year on year. Didn't really understand what I was buying until somebody said something to me a couple of years ago that made me stop and think about those numismatic coins in a different way. And it was actually Matt Barkis, the founder. I then started to look really seriously about what I had. And by that time, I'd built up quite a serious collection because not only was I buying the auto ship, I was also buying other world coins that were being supplied by the company, and we are going to increase that range within Mint Builder very shortly. So I was buying lots and lots of numismatic coins, and over the years, I've now got a collection of coins that's heading towards sort of four figures in volumes of number of coins that I've got, numismatic coins. And I've got some interesting coins laid out, which I want to show you, and explain why.
Talk about grading, coin value, maybe some of the really good ones that you've cherry picked out, and maybe some of the value rates and things that they're at. I'd love to hear more about that.
for those of you who don't know, let's start at the beginning, because I only collect one kind of coin, and the kind of coin that I'm going to collect, that I collect, is I don't know if you guys can see that. It says MS70. Okay. Now, MS70 means that the coin is a mint state 70 coin. It's the highest quality coin. So my advice to you is, if you're buying numismatic coins that have been graded, do not buy 69s, do not buy 65s, whatever, buy 70s, because that's what the collectors who buy these coins from you in the future are going to look for. They look for perfection. And so that's why Mint Builder only supplies MS70 coins. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you obviously need it to be graded by one of the major grading corporations, such as NGC, which is Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, based out of Sarasota in Florida, where we are. PCGS, which is Professional Coin Grading Services, another big American company. Those two companies really have got 98% of the market in terms of grading. And so if it's graded by one of those two companies, the beautiful thing is that you can use your mobile phone to verify that those coins are actually genuine. There's an app from NGC and there's an app from PCGS, and you can download the app.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and get it up on my phone and show you. Okay. I may be able to do that while I'm talking. Anyone that's in Mint Builder will know the last coin that we had this month, last month, January, was the koala. Did you get a koala, Jay?
I didn't, no.
No, okay. So this was the koala. And interestingly, if you look very closely, you'll see that it says one of the first 3,900 struck. Now, that's another thing that the collectors look for. They look for early strike, first release, limited numbers. So where you've got something that's a limited number, or an early strike, or a first strike, and I'll explain what those are in a minute, then that increases the value over time. So an early strike is one of the first 30,000 coins that's ever minted on that run. First strike, I believe it's the first 5,000 coins or first 30 days struck. And a proof coin, basically one of the first 1,000 coins struck. So PF70s are really desirable, but they're very expensive to buy. MS70 first strike or early strike are much more desirable to collectors going forward. So when you look at the label, if you can see first strike or one of a limited number of first struck coins or early strike, you really should be buying that coin, because it's going to have future residual value in the coin. So that's why I buy those. Let me just get my phone up here, and I can show you the app. You can edit this out, and there we go. So as you know, this month's coin, I haven't got mine yet, is the new 2017 Marvel Comics Thor. A great coin. And actually, what that leads me to is another coin that I've got here, which I bought in 2016. Now, this is a really, really nice coin. There we are. What does that say? There we are. Star Wars. This is a Darth Vader Star Wars coin. And I don't know if you can see that it says PF70. It's a proof coin. Okay. So this was one of the really, really early coins struck.
Wow.
Obviously in the NGC hologrammed case. And it's a $2 coin. That coin cost me, when I bought it, I believe it was $160. And it is now, I've seen them trading at just under £200, which is about $250, something like that. So it has gone up in value in the last couple of years that I've had it. Not a huge amount, but I'm not here to sell it today or tomorrow or next week or next month.
I think that'll grow big in time.
Exactly. You're right. And you tend to find this kind of coin that's got an affiliation to a franchise, a TV franchise or a movie franchise, also has that collectability value, because the people who are interested in the collectibles from that franchise are also potential buyers of this coin down the road. Particularly as the coin gets older, it becomes rarer, and therefore, you know,
or the series or saga gets older, or it stops, or it continues, or it's revamped, like with Star Wars. You know, you could have the value driven up almost exponentially from something like that, because the value is based on the individual. With a series or a TV show or something like that, there's no rules for what that thing is valued at. We've all seen examples of collector items going for obscene amounts of money. Yeah, so that's a good play. That's a really good play.
So I've got my mobile phone up here. Forgive the picture of my dog. So as you can see on my phone, I've got. Let me just position that better so you can see it. I've got NGC and PCGS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the little NGC app so you can see. Now there you go. So one of the things that you'll notice on every NGC coin is that there is a barcode. Okay.
Yep.
With this app, you'll see at the top there, it says verify NGC coin. And if you push that button, it says scan barcode. So you can use this app and scan the coin. And because NGC have graded it, it will immediately pull that coin up and it will show you photographs of the coin, because they do, in most cases, take photographs of the coin. And where the coin is a US coin, where it's a US coin, it will actually show you what the current residual value on that coin is as well. So it's a value tracker. So it's a nice little app and allows you to keep your whole inventory on your phone. So you will see sometimes that it doesn't have a picture. And what that means is that the person who ordered that coin to be graded needed it in a hurry, and they said don't take pictures because that just slows it down. And where you see American coins, you will see sometimes different values on the coin. And obviously I carry my coin collection around in my phone, and the PCGS app works exactly the same way, and both of those applications are free on the Apple iTunes store or on the Android store. So depending on what model phone you've got, you can use those, and I just think they're great. So the first thing I always do when I get a new coin, scan it in the phone and just make sure that it's a genuine coin.
Keep track of everyone that you've searched in the past, so you can kind of keep track of your portfolio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's
cool.
a great little app. So in addition to collecting a number of American Eagles, which are these coins, which is kind of the standard issue coin, one of the things that can make a coin valuable over and above a standard coin is actually this little piece of paper in here. This is called the certificate. And from time to time, they will change the certificates and put limited edition certificates into these cases. And by the way, these cases are airtight sealed. And what these cases do is actually protect the coin from being touched by a human hand and therefore getting burnished, and keep it in a pristine condition. So please don't break it out of the case, because this is
goes without saying that you shouldn't have taken a hammer. If you got to take a hammer to remove it from the case, that's probably why you shouldn't remove it from the case.
Exactly. So I've actually got one of these. I haven't got it in front of me, but I've got one of these that actually has a label in it. This is a standard 2012 American Eagle, but it's got a label in it that actually should never have gone into the coin, because obviously the person in the office who issued the memo didn't ensure that the person on the production floor of the West Point Mint got the memo. So he obviously didn't know, and he put the wrong certificate into about 800 coins. And the fact that it's got the wrong certificate in it makes it more valuable. So it's a little bit like stamp collecting. There's certain things that make coins valuable. What I also, just to give you an idea of other things that make a coin valuable, this is a Proof Ultra Cameo Scallop Canada Snake. And you can see here that this is got a scalloped edge to the coin, which is really nice. That, again, adds an enhanced, because that's more difficult to manufacture. That increases the cost of the coin at the point of purchase, but also it increases the price of the coin at the point of sale, because obviously they don't make as many of those as they do standard round coins. Yeah. And again, it's a proof coin, it's graded, so that's going to have some great residual value, and that too has gone up in value since I bought it. I do love what I call enameled coins. Now, enameled coins are coins like this. You can see what's happened here is they've actually colored parts of the coin to give it a really nice sort of artistic effect. This one in particular, again, is a proof coin, and this is a $2. So that's a really, really nice coin. And wherever I see colored coins, I always try and get them at the right price. And Mint Builder will be supplying some of these as well, so they will be available for Mint Builder members. One of my favorite coins, and Mint Builder buys a lot of coins from the Perth Mint. They have a great relationship with Perth Mint, and the Perth Mint is renowned for doing really, really unusual coins. And I'm going to show you a couple now that have come out of the Perth Mint. In fact, that limited edition koala that we all got last month, that was a Perth Mint coin. This one is a really nice Perth Mint coin. This is a Proof Ultra Cameo coin. This is a Tasmanian Devil, but the Tasmanian Devil is actually embossed in black Australian opal. Opal is one of the biggest exports of Australia, and it's actually quite a valuable stone. So they've done this beautiful addition to the coin, gives it a really nice, I'm trying to get the sort of rainbow colors to trying to get it to flicker. I can see it right there. Yep, that's it. But It really is nice. And again, a proof coin and lovely design on the back with the Queen. Yep. So that's a Perth Mint coin. But I'll show you now my favorite Perth Mint coin that I've bought over the last few years, which is the gold kangaroo. So this is a really special little coin. So this is a kangaroo dollar. Yep. It's got a hole centered out of the coin, and that is 24 karat gold beads inside the coin.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
right.
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
That's got to be pretty rare too. Hey.
Pretty rare. Yeah. And this coin has quadrupled in value since I've owned it. This coin is over 4 figures now. So I know this is going to be a real winner for me going forward. So that's a real nice coin. So those are, just a few of the coins that I collect. And I have, just to give you guys, I have cases and cases full of numismatic coins.
Got it. So that's how you store them, is in those cases.
Yeah, I just store them in these cases, and I've got a bunch of these cases that I absolutely, just fill them out with. And I try and sort them out into sort of countries or mints or whatever. It's not always possible, but people say, do you actually collect these things? And the answer is yes, I do, because I'm building a long-term wealth strategy with these coins. Yep. Sometimes I just get them out and look at them because they're just nice to look at and they're nice to see. Whenever I have a guest come round to the house, you're like this, I always leave 1 or 2 on the coffee table because inevitably people pick them up and they go, this is interesting. What's this? Boom, I'm in.
Exactly.
There's the door.
And I'm surprised that it's not a bigger thing. Numismatics have been around for a really long time. Like I went and researched and did my basic homework on it. And I'm just really surprised that it's not a bigger thing because it is an easy strategy. Like it's, especially with Mint Builder, it's very easy to go out and to offload some of your profits into the precious metals. Naturally people are going to find their way into the whole business side of it and underneath you, right? Like it's typical MLM stuff. Like when you have something good, you don't really have to worry about going and recruiting or getting people signed up. A lot of that's naturally going to already happen, especially when you have a product like this. Like gold and silver and coins, they sell themselves. You don't have to sit down and give somebody a history lesson of the value of gold or silver. And if they were asking for that, they'd probably be the wrong person. You want somebody who already recognizes that is a safe place to put your money and a way to expand out on your portfolio to mitigate your overall risk. So
absolutely. Yeah. And here's a point that a lot of people, just to answer that point you made about the size of the market, a lot of people don't know that in America, the numismatic market, the collectible modern coins collectible market, is a $1.4 billion industry in America alone. And people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kim Basinger, Nicole Kidman, all of these guys, Richard Branson, they all collect numismatic coins. They collect vintage numismatic, they collect modern coins because they understand what's going to happen with these coins going forward. They don't need to liquidate them tomorrow, next week, or the next month. They're quite happy. They'll give them to their children and their children will sell them because
I didn't know about Branson, but I knew about Buffett. Buffett hates crypto, by the way.
He does, yeah.
It makes total sense. Like he buys railroads, he buys Coca-Cola, he buys stuff that's been around forever and ever and ever and ever. Sure. Gold, silver, coins, they've been around forever. Like, of course he hates crypto.
Sure. Well, in fact, Warren Buffett holds the record for the buying the most amount of silver in one single transaction, and it was approaching. Yeah, it was something like $3.5 billion worth of silver in one transaction that he bought, and he bought it when it was about $2.80 an ounce, and he sold it out when it was about $9 an ounce. So he did okay. It wasn't a bad day's work. And I think he bought Heinz with the proceeds, if I remember right. Because he owns Heinz as well now. So, but interestingly and this is a point that is missed by most people in the network marketing side of this business. If you're in a network marketing company and you're selling juices or potions and lotions, you buy that product and you consume that product. What have you got? You've got absolutely nothing. Where here, if you bought this product and let's just say, for example, the company failed. No chance of that happening right now. But let's just say it happened. The company failed. Have you actually lost anything? No. You still hold the value in your hand. My friend Mark, who's in the business with me, says, it doesn't matter. In fact, you're not actually spending money. What you're actually doing is changing one form of currency for another. It's a bit like when you go to the Bureau de Change to change dollars into pounds or euros. You're not actually spending money. You're just changing one medium into another. And that's exactly what's happening here. As long as you hold that in your hand, you're holding the value, not the company. And the
True.
fact that they send you another one of these next month and the month after and the month after, all they're doing is building your personal wealth. I'm a great believer in the book that Matt, our founder, proposes about automatic savings, that if you automate a process and you just get used to that and it sits in your skin, it just becomes so easy.
The habit, the pattern.
Exactly that.
So the ownership kind of does that. I mean, if you had nothing else really going on, you just have to set that up and kind of forget about it. And it's, I got another one this month. I got another one this month. That is something that down the road you can offload, and it is a means of currency. It's a means of money in the future.
You're absolutely right. Spot on. But here's another thing. When you become, you build a small business in Mint Builder, and you get to that position of being a mint builder where you're earning $250 a month, or $250 a week, I should say. What's this costing you? It's costing you nothing. So if you imagine there's 4 pay weeks in every month, and you're putting $1,000, 10% of your income is building your wealth automatically. And most people don't see it that way, but I do. So for me, 10% of the smallest amount of pay you can receive in Mint Builder to building your long-term wealth strategy is the most sensible thing that I've ever come across. This is the reason why, and we all know we're in networking. We all get pitched every day on different things, and people come up to me, and because they know who I am and my reputation, they go, I'd love you to be in my network. I say, well, why would I want to be in something that's consumable when I've got something that's tangible? And if you can show me something that's tangible and that will grow in value as such as this, and couple it with the bullion, then I'm interested. Until then, no thank you, because I don't see any other network gives you this value in your hand. And as Matt says, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So that's why I don't put them in the bank, because I don't trust them. And I imagine that's the sentiment that runs through your crowd as well.
Yeah, for the safety security boxes and all that, there's clauses in there. That's not yours. When you
exactly.
It's no longer yours.
Exactly.
So that gives me a tremendous amount of confidence knowing that they're physically so close to, you said it was NCS or NSC?
NGC is let me find a label so you can see. So NGC is the grading company.
That would explain why he's getting his hands on so many killer ones, because when I did the interview with Matt, which was about a week ago now, really good, I had went and told the community, like, hey, what's coming up on the horizon is some really rare pandas and some what'll probably be pretty rare Thor Marvel coins. And then the next week, people were already getting the Thors.
It's a combination of two things. It's the fact that he's got this massive relationship with NGC, but it's also that over the years, him and Vince, the other founder, have built such trust relationships with the Mint that when Matt picks the phone up and rings the Perth Mint and says, I want to get the first run of those coins, or I want this, or I want that, they'll take his call. And that's massively important. That's massively important. His credibility makes this business happen.
Yeah, that means that over the years, up until this point of Mint Builder being, released, that he's built up great relationship and he's treated people right, which is what's built his authority and his reputation with the actual Mint.
Exactly that. With my Mint Builder income, I effectively, I split it 3 ways. I put about a third of my Mint Builder income back into metals. I put about a third of my Mint Builder income into crypto. And the rest of it, I kind of just leave sitting there and I let it build. And when I need a bit of cash, I take that out. I try not to put as much into fiat as I can. I mean, I've got other businesses, not networking business. I've got terrestrial businesses that already feed me, so I don't really need to touch that Mint Builder income.
I like that. Breaking it down into thirds. A third reinvesting back in, a third out to crypto, and a third out to. For a lot of people on it that are listening and watching this, the other third would be into marketing and advertising to grow the business side of it. I don't think you have that problem. I think a lot of people are coming in naturally to you, Ray. And your downline is really, really big, but somebody just starting out, that last 1/3 would go towards marketing and advertising to get the store in front of other people. If nothing else, just the shop on the store.
Exactly. Yeah. And on the shop, I mean, right now, the shop, in my view, because one of the companies I run is a big web development company, the shop doesn't look right.
It's not like a sexy Shopify store that is really intriguing, super smooth checkout process. No.
Sure. Well, on that, I've got some news for you. It was my company that built the front end site for Mint Builder because Matt wanted me to do that because, we have this working relationship that goes way back in the day. We're now working with Mint Builder to build a much more integrated, slicker looking shop for you guys, so that when you send somebody, a member of the public, it breeds the confidence that they need to go and buy whatever it is they need to buy. Having said that, the current shop is great. It works. It does what it says on the tin. Maybe in another video, what I'll do is I'll do some price comparisons on bullion with some of the world's major suppliers to show your teams how, when somebody comes to me and says I can get it cheaper over there, I've got some equations that I can show them in real time on live websites that go, actually, no, you can't.
Because I've had some people tell me that too. Like it breaks down into wash. Like they're like, oh, I can get this cheaper here, but this is better on Mint, and so on and so forth. So I haven't had somebody come to me and just say, wow, this is ridiculous. I can get this so much cheaper over here, and then have that conversation actually check out yet.
We'll do that in another video, because that's actually a really exciting conversation. And when you show people that, I mean, I show people in the UK, obviously, that I can get them an ounce of silver 4 or 5 pounds cheaper than they can get it anywhere else. Suddenly the lights go on in their head and go, why would I want to buy that from anywhere else? And I go, well, there you go. There's the shop. Go and buy it. And they do, because they realize I've shown them the correct way to look at it. And I'm happy to do that call with you guys and show you that, because everything we can give you in terms of knowledge will help you grow your business. And that's what we're here to do. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, let's set that up for the future. Is there anything else that people really need to know about numismatics that we haven't covered, or maybe I haven't thought to ask? Not really. All I would say to you is, in the beginning, it can be a minefield. Because you're treading in uncharted waters. You know, this is a new thing to you. You don't really understand what it is you've bought. A lot of people don't understand what it is they've bought. And a lot of people think it's overpriced silver. My view to that is, yeah, it is a bit, okay? But understand that in order to get this into our hands, it doesn't come out of the mint like this, okay? Right. It comes out as a coin. It's Mint Builder, it's Matt and Vince that actually take the pure coin from the mint, and they send it to NGC or PCGS, and then it's graded, encapsulated, certificated, and then it's sent back to Mint Builder, and then they have to ship it out all around the world. So, you know, there's cost to that. You know, people say, you know, $127, 95 quid. It's the right price. It's not overpriced silver. It's the right price. It's not bad. It's right in there. It's right in that acceptable amount that you'd pay every month for something like that. Exactly. And, you know, most people would like to save £100 a month or $125 a month or whatever it is. And this is just a great way of doing it, because it helps you, you know, it can help you educate your kids. It gets them excited. As you start to look into numismatic coins, particularly modern coins, which is what we collect through Mint Builder, when you start to look into them, you know, I've definitely got bright shiny object syndrome, because I see a numismatic coin, I'm like, ooh, you know, I want one of those. I know that somewhere down the road, you know, hopefully, you know, it might be my collection that gets sold for $228 million. I'm not hopeful of that, but I certainly know that it's going to realize a huge amount more at that point in my life than it cost me. And so all I would say to you, that to kind of wrap up, that really chops down and is so much better of a play than your standard checking interest, your savings account interest rates, bonds, CDs. Those are all kind of fading out. Just holding cash, if you were to just stock away $100 a month, this completely trumps those. Interesting point. I did a YouTube video the other day on the back of a letter a friend of mine got. It's on my YouTube channel. It talks about how the banks are now getting everyone onto 0 and negative interest rates, because he got a letter from his bank telling him they were going to put his interest rates down to 0 on his savings. Why would you put... I don't even know what to say to that. It's like it's almost like they want to kill their own business. You know, it's just... But in that video, I also did a great illustration, which I use when I'm talking to people about the difference between putting your money in the bank, and I do it on screen, I show it in real time, what you would get for putting in your money in the bank for 15 years and what you would get by buying silver for 15 years. And that's a really interesting eye-opener. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. So I'll link everybody to that. Yeah, cool. And that's a great video. And I actually use that as a pitch sometimes, and it takes me like 5 minutes on a tabletop. And, you know, once you get around a bunch of ladies who've got kids or something and they just love all that, they lap it up and they go. In fact, interesting story. I went to see a bunch of ladies who had kids a few months ago. There was 12 of them. I did a 10-minute pitch using exactly that pitch about bank and silver. I sold 60 bullion coins right there and then. And they're still buying them. Here we are. Okay, so numismatic, above all, I would say, just have fun with it. Numismatic collecting is fun. And once you start growing a collection, you just want more.
Yeah, I get it. I'm seeing that. I'm starting to see that in a big way. Let's wrap it there. Thank you so much, Ray, for jumping on. I really think it's insanely valuable for everybody in the community that really doesn't know what the hell they just bought and what they just kind of got themselves into. I think this will shed a lot of light on that. And I'd love to have you on again and chat about some more. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Take care.